It isn't even mid-November yet, and already the Hallmark Channel's countdown to Christmas has begun. To get you in the spirit, I talked to two of the stars of a new holiday-themed mystery series. That's next on Brio TV, the podcast. Yes, I know. You're still working your way through all of that leftover Halloween candy. Still, Christmas comes early every year on television thanks to the festive folks at Hallmark Channel, as well as on the W Network in Canada. That's where you can watch this new Christmas-themed mystery series, Mistletoe Murders. Based on an Audible podcast of the same name, the 6-episode series stars Sarah Drew, who viewers will know from her 9 seasons as April Kepner on Grey's Anatomy. She plays Emily, who owns a small-town Christmas store. She also appears to be a part-time sleuth on the side. This butts her up against local detective Sam Wilner, played by her old pal Peter Mooney from Burden of Truth. Mistletoe Murders is now playing on Hallmark Channel, and it premieres November 18th on the W Network. You can also stream it on STACKTV. I spoke with Sarah and Peter over Zoom, and as you'll hear, Sarah was the first to join the meeting. Good morning, Sarah. Can you hear me?
Bill.
Hi.
Yes,
Good.
I can hear you.
Very good. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm looking forward to this. I've watched the first 2 episodes, so appreciate your time today.
Of course.
Yeah.
Peter should be in any second. We just signed off the last one.
Oh, okay, great. Well,
yeah, we were just.
You know those Canadians. They're never on time.
I don't actually find that to be true.
I'm Canadian.
Is quite punctual and, in fact, quite friendly.
Peter is both. Absolutely. I've spoken to him before. Yeah. Where am I reaching you? Are you at home? Or
I'm in Los Angeles. Yeah, I'm at home.
Very nice.
My back house.
It looks cool. So, I guess we can start right into this, and Peter will catch up.
He's right here.
Oh, here we are. Hello, Peter.
There we go.
Hey, Peter, how you doing?
Good, Bill. How you doing?
I'm well.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you both. Now, because this Mistletoe Murders is a Christmas themed, I've grown a full Santa Claus beard just for this.
I almost said something about it, and I stopped myself because I'm like, I don't know how he'll take that, but it is the most perfect Santa beard I've ever seen.
Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. I've told this story before. I was actually stopped at a mall by a guy who was a Santa Claus mall recruiter. And last winter, he was trying to talk me into it. I think it might be fun. $35 an hour cash. Well, how can you go wrong? But that honestly happened.
Did you just walk around a mall as Santa?
I was walking through the mall, and this guy stops me, and he goes, "Hey, you look like Santa Claus." And I'm in a hurry, and I'm going, "Yeah, that or David Letterman." Very good.
Yeah, totally.
And he said, "No, you look like Santa Claus." So I should send my 8x10 to the Hallmark folks, I'm thinking.
Oh,
100%. Yeah.
100%. Anyway.
We didn't really have a Santa in our first season on the show, but we like a real bearded Santa. We might that season 2.
I've seen the first 2 episodes, and it's a glorious look. Now I know this was shot around Toronto, but it has this beautiful small town feel. Where was it specifically shot? Do you know the town? Or
we were shooting in Pickering.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yeah. And so all of the outdoor stuff you saw was on a back lot that was originally built for the show Reacher.
Oh, really?
So they just dressed up that Reacher back lot for us, and that was our town. And then everything else was really on stages because all the rest of it was pretty interior. I mean, I guess we went out to a farm. We had a couple little location things, but mostly it was the back lot and the stages.
Well, it's beautifully dressed, and I imagine this is something they probably shot last May or June or during a heat wave or something, and you had to pretend it was winter. Is that true?
Oh yeah.
You are correct. The most amazing thing about the whole show to me is when I was watching it, I'm like, we look cold. Sarah's particularly good at like rubbing her hands to warm them. It's such an underrated acting skill because we were
Dying.
so
Absolutely dying. And I remember having some battles about, I don't want to wear my gloves. Please don't make me wear my gloves in the scene. And then I watch it back and I'm like, I'm glad she made me wear my gloves because
right about the gloves.
they were 100% correct. It really does sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
if you're watching on behalf of both of us, we're sorry. You were right about the gloves.
No, I've seen these productions shooting around Hamilton and different places, and yeah, I've been there. And the crew is all in bathing suits and t-shirts with the gaffers, and the actors have to wear these heavy wool scarves and gloves and hats, right?
And
Yeah.
ice vests. So this was our they had these vests that we would wear under our jackets that we would Velcro to ourselves. And well, you had a whole thing you would just
I
wear.
had a full torso ice vest that looked sort of like a Power Ranger got interrupted in the middle of getting dressed. Power Ranger.
Well, it kind of
Except
works.
you couldn't actually wear it under any of your stuff. It was just to cool you down in between.
Exactly. I tried to wear it under my things, but it would have taken that was Reacher. Like Sam looked.
That was Reacher. Yeah, that was you trying to be Reacher.
That's funny. Yeah.
And then just umbrellas, because there's also there's not a lot of trees out on that back lot either. So there's not a lot of shade in any of the places that we're shooting out on the streets or anything.
Yeah.
So there's just a million umbrellas following us around and then cooling van to sit in and calm down between shots. Yeah.
There is, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a scene toward the end of the second episode where it starts to snow. So clearly that was a digital effect or something, but it all works really well. The magic of Hallmark and everything, it lends itself. It's a good illusion. So it's, and also if it was really wintertime, it would be slushy. The snow would be dirty, like it's clean.
And it would be impossible to shoot because the weather is so chaotic and crazy during the winter in Toronto. So you really have to fake it.
Yeah.
Or you'll just be buried in, rain or sleet or slush or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, I think people know, just in case you're not sure, this Mistletoe Murders, you play Emily Lane. She's a Christmas store owner. And but she also is a amateur sleuth, or was once a sleuth. There's a bit of mystery to her, right? We're not quite sure where she gets all these keen insights into investigating local murders. And one, of course, occurs in this small town. And Peter, you're the detective, Sam Wilner, who you're not quite sure about Emily, what the hell is going on, but she does seem to come up with some good ideas now and then, right?
That's right. That's exactly it. She keeps showing up in places where she shouldn't be, but also keeps dropping really helpful hints and seems to have a real knack for this. So Sam's pretty torn as to how much to let her in on, how much to lean on her, but she's very clearly very good at solving crimes.
Yeah, and also just getting random strangers to confess anything or just drop clues, or also break into any suspicious property, or like, wow, this is very skilled. Emily, right?
Naughty. Sometimes you need a little naughtiness in order to get to the truth, and the cop can't do it because that would be breaking a law. So sometimes you need that outside help.
Yes, absolutely works.
Yeah, she knows how to work people, and and it is obviously questionable. The lying is questionable in terms of her character, but it's always driven and motivated by getting to the truth and making sure that the right person goes down for the right thing. And she will not rest until that thing is solved. It is very important for her to get to the truth. So
she is relentless.
I forgive her for it. She is relentless.
Was that part of what drew you to the brazenness of her? Is that part of what drew you to the character, you think?
Absolutely. And especially in those first two episodes, you see her kind of meeting people and sort of becoming a bit of a chameleon based on whoever she's speaking to. And she is very quick. She comes up with what needs to be said, what needs to be asked, what needs to make the person feel comfortable in order to say the thing that she needs to get from them. And I thought it was a really fun character to play because, again, it's not always, she's not making perfectly pure choices all the time, but the motivating factor is really, really good. She has goodness at her core. And I thought playing with the, maybe we don't always make the right choices to get to the right thing would be a really fun kind of character to play. And plus just the mystery of who she is really fun when we are constantly surprised by her throughout the whole first season. And that's super fun as an actor to play.
Well, I've only seen the first two episodes, but there seems to be a couple of brief flashbacks of something. You're intrigued because you know that your antenna's up, right? There's more to this story, which is kind of fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really, really fun because you kind of, it has some Veronica Marsy, some Alias-y vibes to me that got me really excited when I read the first two episodes.
Mm-hmm. And Peter, your character, I think the actress who plays your daughter explains that you have resting cop face. do you think you have resting cop face, Peter? I don't know.
I think Sierra nailed that. Yeah, I do. I think Sam is his sort of incredulousness and exhaustion are wearing on his face quite a bit. But there are some really fun scenes in this of playing a dad of a teenage daughter trying to investigate a crime and toggling back and forth between the sort of cop mode and dad mode in the same scene is really fun. So to watch the cop face come on and go off and come on and go off was like probably my favorite thing to play of this whole show.
Cool.
And not easy, by the way, Peter. He nails it so brilliantly when he is shifting gears. Like, you still have to do your job, but you also are still dad, and you also still have to parent your child. And then when he starts to get maybe a little fascinated and interested in Emily too, that's a whole other kind of mode he's walking into too. So I hand it to you, Peter. You're amazing in this role. It's not easy.
Thank you. Likewise, because I think the fun thing for both of us in this show is getting to play someone with something else going on. Mm-hmm. And for Emily, there's a very sort of literal manifestation of that, a literal mystery behind who she is. Mm-hmm. And for Sam, it's that pull that I think we all face in different ways, the pull between the personal and the professional, and trying to serve both, and how that is incredibly difficult.
Yeah, and everybody can relate to that for sure.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with Mistletoe Murders stars Sarah Drew and Peter Mooney. Have you seen Creepy Bits? No, not Timbits that have been left out in the sun too long. Creepy Bits, the all-Canadian-made horror series. The 10-episode second season premieres in November on Hollywood Suite. What began as a do-it-yourself YouTube series of bite-sized shorts has evolved into a full-blown horror sensation. Some episodes take place in a cabin in the woods, another in a houseboat where strange noises can be heard coming from the murky depths. Each episode is helmed by a diverse range of innovative filmmakers, including series creator and executive producer David J. Fernandez. The second season premieres November 19th, exclusively on Hollywood Suite. Viewers can also binge all of the episodes on Hollywood Suite On Demand starting November 1st. This month, like every month, there's something for every member of the family on Paramount Plus Canada. The big news is the return of Yellowstone, back for a 5th season. This is the story of the Dutton family, who control the largest cattle ranch in the United States. And yes, Kevin Costner will be back, along with the rest of the ensemble. Fans of executive producer Taylor Sheridan can look forward to his latest series, Landman, which looks at the fortune-seeking world of Texas oil rigs. Billy Bob Thornton, Demi Moore, John Hamm, and Andy Garcia are among the stars. Then there's The Agency, which explores the world of international intrigue and espionage. Michael Fassbender and Richard Gere star. Finally, there's the music documentary Larger Than Life, Reign of the Boy Bands, featuring NSYNC, 98 Degrees, Backstreet Boys, Hanson, New Kids on the Block, and others. And remember, there's a mountain of entertainment every month on Paramount+. Here they are again, Sarah Drew and Peter Mooney. Now, it's funny, we're talking today is, November the 8th, I think. I have grown children. My daughter was saying she's a new mom. We have a grandchild who is adorable. And the idea is to get a Christmas tree early this year, because normally I wouldn't even think about this for a month, right? But these Hallmark, the movies generally accelerate. They throw you into the Christmas mode a bit early. Are both of you Christmas people? Do you get into the season?
Do you want me to? I'll go first.
Yeah.
I am very much a Christmas person. I am part of a musical collective called the Reindeer Tribe, and we record a new Christmas album every year.
Wow.
Which is just so there's 13 albums. I'm not always available because we record it over 3 days. There's a theme that's chosen a few weeks ahead of time, and then we get together and spend 3 days recording an album. Do you wear antlers when you get together? I'm not a lot of antler wearing. There's definitely a lot of old fashions being drunk.
Nice. Good for you.
But it is so fun. And then I have multiple traditions. We have a caroling party tradition. We have an ornament decorating tradition that involves my neighborhood. And then we have a Christmas Eve service that we always go to. And then we have Christmas Eve meal with my husband's side of the family that's out here in LA. We have a special cheese fondue that my husband has always had growing up. And it's our Christmas meal that we love so much. I love Christmas. However, the tree's not going up until Thanksgiving weekend.
Exactly.
As ready as my daughter especially is for the tree to go up,
I bet.
Not till after Thanksgiving.
Pretty exciting year she's a young, your daughter. So at Christmas, it's always fabulous to have young children around, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Are you from New York originally?
Oh, wait, Peter, you didn't get to answer the question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Peter, talk Christmas.
We've done and I know Sarah is the queen of Christmas. So I'm more of a recent come around to Christmas. I'm the Grinch right after the scene where it goes, wink.
Your heart is actively growing 3 sizes.
My heart has just grown.
Wow.
Sizes. I'm getting an ECG next week actually to look into it, but it feels really nice.
Funny. Hope that goes well.
The thing is, my daughter loves Christmas so much. Is so excited for it. And being around that joy and part of that joy is just so much fun. So I do not have anything close to the sort of traditions that Sarah has, but they're definitely in the early stages of being established, which is really, really sweet.
Yeah, well, it's fun. And that's why I think obviously these movies are so popular and the series. But, besides it being a Christmas show, it's a mystery. That really elevates it, doesn't it? Because, you've got a lot of elements here. There's a young woman, she runs her own store, and it happens to be a Christmas store. Then there's a handsome cop who comes in, and it's sort of it's a formula that we've kind of seen before, but the mystery element really takes it in a more serious direction, I think, right?
Absolutely. I think it creates some rooted and groundedness and multi-dimensional layers to the genre that everybody knows and loves. And what's really fun about Mistletoe Murders is that you still will get all of the things you love about that genre. All of those elements are still alive and well throughout the whole series. But then you also get the paradox of this mystery and adventure and intrigue that comes right on in and mixes up with it too. So it's kind of wild. I was mentioning in another interview that in both the mystery and the Christmas genre, I think people love it so much because we want to see chaos become order. You know, we want to make sure that whatever has fallen apart will be put back together again. And so with the mysteries, people tune in because they know, especially like Hallmark mysteries, you know that at the end, all will be made right. The same thing with you when you tune into a Christmas movie. A lot of times there's all kinds of twists and turns in the midst of the story itself, but you know that at the end, everything will be good and okay. So we're really just taking two genres that have a similar through line and melding them together. And they kind of miraculously, it works really, really well.
And how will the other episodes work? I've only seen two, and it seemed to have a beginning, and middle, and end. So do you solve? There's 6 episodes this season. Are you solving 3 different murders, or what do viewers have in store?
Yeah, so each murder mystery is a 2-part episode, 2 episodes each mystery, and then there's the bigger overarching mystery that was sort of teased that you would know from the first 2 of sort of who is Emily Lane question.
And from what I understand, this began as a Audible podcast, right? This story. Yeah. Did either of you were you aware of it before you became part of the series, or have you listened to it since?
I was not aware of it. I read the script first and I fell in love with the script. And then I listened to the first 2 episodes of the Audible series. And they're similar. What's interesting about the first 2 episodes of our show follow a similar mystery as the first 2 episodes of the podcast. But every other mystery we do, but it takes different twists and turns. So even for people who've listened to the podcast, they will still be surprised and intrigued by the TV show. But all the rest of the episodes are entirely and completely new mysteries. We're not following what the Audible series is doing. Ken is just a genius in his ability to just pump these mysteries out, and he's so incredible at it. They're always completely intriguing and totally surprising, and you are guessing who done it the whole way through. So I mean, we're in such good hands with him. But I listened to the first 2, and then I kind of was like, you know what? I want to make sure that my version of Emily Lane is really, I'm going to own my version of Emily Lane. And I didn't want to get too married to what the podcast was, because the TV show is something different, making something different.
That makes perfect sense, right? Especially this other is so fresh. Is it Kobe Smulders? Is she the one of the, and interesting. Yeah. So you would want to absolutely give it your own spin. And that's what you do, which is great.
Especially if you're setting off to potentially and hopefully go for many seasons, you want it to feel authentic to who you are as you're stepping into this character. So, yeah.
And Peter, one of the other fun parts of watching the series is seeing a lot of other familiar faces, some Canadians in the cast in different roles. Gene Yoon, I saw in the first episode of The Diner from Kim's Convenience, but Neil Crone, right? He's in every second show made in Canada, right? So kind of fun to see him as well. You've got others, I think, coming up, right?
Yeah, like Neil and I worked together on Rookie Blue probably 10 years ago, like a long time ago.
Yeah, I bet.
Arc on that. It's really, really nice getting to showcase local Toronto talent that a lot of familiar faces, a lot of people will know. And then also like Sarah Riley, who plays my daughter on the show.
Amazing.
Incredible actor.
She's so good.
So incredible. So I think the show is both going to be a lot of familiar faces for people and then some really wonderful new introductions.
I mean, we've got like Laura Amersey, we've got Steve Lund, Kylie Evans, David Hewlett. who's in
Wow.
everything. David Hewlett plays Famous Ray, who's just phenomenal. Tom Cavanaugh.
Tom Cavanaugh, that jumped out. Yeah, it's good to see him.
Jake Epstein.
Wow.
Just of Degrassi Days. So, and everybody across the board showed up with their whole hearts, fully committed, ready to play. And it was really beautiful getting to work with all this incredible Canadian talent.
Well, it's nice to hear. And I mean, Sarah, both of you have a very deep resumes of wonderful shows. You were on Grey's Anatomy for how many? 9 seasons, I think.
9, yeah.
Yeah, incredible. Good for you. But had you worked in Canada before on other shows?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What were some of the things?
Oh yeah, I've worked in Canada quite a bit, especially in the last few years. I've shot in Toronto, I've shot in Vancouver, Vancouver Island, a bunch. And even early on, I remember doing a show called Wonder Falls.
Oh my goodness! Stop! I'm going to stop you right there. I love Wonder Falls, and
such a good show.
I know my kids too. We watch it as they're old. They're in their 30s now. But my goodness, what an imaginative, fun show! It has such charm, and it was so eccentric. The people behind it were clever and eccentric. It's a shame it only lasted that one season, right?
It was so good. It was such a good show. So funny, so clever.
Yeah.
I was so sad it just didn't find its audience.
Well, it did at our house, that's for sure. Don't go away. We'll be back in a minute with Sarah Drew and Peter Mooney. Back for a second season this month on Super Channel is Finally Caught. You think the only cold cases in Canada contain 24 beers? This is a true crime show where murders go cold, leaving unanswered questions, and killers are left to run free, assuming they've gotten away with murder. These cold cases demand justice for the people impacted. New evidence or stunning new testimony comes to light, allowing law enforcement officers to piece together what happened, with the killer being finally caught. It's an all-Canadian series from Blackwatch Entertainment. See Season 2 this November on Super Channel, available via most cable providers across the country, as well as streaming live and on demand with Amazon Prime Video channels and Apple TV+. Do you ever wonder why your parents turned out the way they did? Come out to the Westdale Theatre in Hamilton on Saturday, November 23rd, starting at 1 p.m. I'll be there with my 16mm projector showing some classic cartoons, the ones many of us watched on TV every Saturday morning back in the 60s and 70s. Now, I'm talking the new adventures of Pinocchio, Tales of the Wizard of Oz, then there was Rocket Robin Hood and the Mighty Hercules. Look, you can see Diver Dan, a live-action kiddie series that was shot through a fish tank. Finally, don't miss a rare screening of one of the best animated hour-long shows of every boomer's youth. Gasp as your parents sing along with every word of the theme song. It's all part of the TV on Film party scheduled for Saturday, November 23rd at 1 p.m. And yes, there will be cool TV trivia prizes generously provided by our friends at Retro Festive. Go to thewestdale.ca for tickets and information. We're back. Have you ever heard of it? Did you know about Wonder Falls, Peter?
No, I didn't know about Wonder Falls, but now I'm feeling like I really missed out. I got to see if I can find it.
Gabriel Hogan was in it. If you worked with him, yeah, he was very funny.
Lee Pace was in it.
Lee Pace, yeah, no, you're right.
Tracy Toms.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, great.
I mean, it was a really quirky show about this kind of millennial, cynical early 20s, late teens girl who worked at the at a gift shop by Niagara Falls, and all of a sudden the little animals in the store start talking to her and telling her to do things for people, and she winds up kind of against her will making people's lives better, but it pisses her off to do it.
That's right.
Very fun.
Look it up. Yeah, if you can find it. It's either you weren't sure if that the show was sort of had a spiritual side to it, or if the main character was mad, like it was very interesting. So it's too bad that you didn't get to do more of that one, but certainly didn't stop you from doing all kinds of other great stuff. Let's do a quick Christmas quiz. So you can see my first question: real tree or artificial?
Artificial. In LA, they die so fast, and we made that mistake for many years. And it's now we can put it up at Thanksgiving, and it's pretty and wonderful. And then you just put it away, and then you have to go buy another $120 tree every single year.
That's right. Yeah, Peter,
we've finished done both, but I think Sarah, I think this year we're coming around.
You are.
It's just going to be the one.
The balsam. I think it's balsam wood. They look really, really real. And you can get them with lights already attached, and you just put it together and it's done and it's there, and no one's hauling something in the house. There aren't pine needles that you find for 5 months after.
Yeah. I just want to with a little like cedar oil or something, just so you get a little bit of that.
A little bit of smell. Yes.
Yeah, you're right. But as actors too, you could be in Budapest in December. You could be, it's a nomadic life in many ways, right? So pretty hard to commit to a tree for 30 days if you're all over the place, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
It will definitely catch on fire in LA.
Yeah, it is. Hot. Yeah, no kidding. My goodness. Okay, eggnog, yes or no?
Hard yes. Incredible.
I hate it so much. It's disgusting.
Sarah, it's one of the best things.
I cannot understand you.
I got a big glass of it right here.
We're in
for an interview.
Such opposition on this topic.
Yeah. Has this come up before? Are you maybe at the chemistry read? Did you have to get past this point?
Thank goodness this didn't come up at the chemistry read, because I would not be on the show. I am grateful, but no one asked us this question until recently. But we were asked this at a press event, and I, said my love for eggnog and lost the room.
Lost the room. Because it's vile.
Well, yeah.
It makes me question who you are as a person.
Wow.
Bill, tiebreaker, what's your thoughts?
Well, I honestly, it's hilarious because my wife Sandra loves eggnog and I do not. So I understand this divide.
There it is.
It happens in many households, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, my wife also finds it disgusting, so I have to sneak out in the middle of the night and just guzzle it from the carton.
Your eggnog addiction is public now. Well, and favorite all-time Christmas movie?
It's actually. Oh, go ahead.
No.
Oh, there's so many. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation was a big one in our home growing up. We knew I know every single line to that movie. Wow. We have family jokes that surround quotes from that movie. Recently, my new favorite is the Christmas musical that came out on Apple TV a couple years ago called Spirited, with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell.
Oh, those two. Yes, yeah.
Our new tradition, decorating tree tradition, is that the tree goes up while the movie plays and we decorate, and that's when it's that movie, that and the soundtrack. My kids know every lyric to every song.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. It's good to have, a lot of us still would pick It's a Wonderful Life or something from 1947, but there's lots to choose from. Yeah. All right.
What about you, Peter? What's your favorite?
I mean, it's really tough. Die Hard or...
Oh, my God.
Wait a minute. Die Hard's a Christmas movie then. So you drink eggnog and Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
He did that on purpose, Bill.
I just watched for the very first time Home Alone with my daughter. And like the fact that they would not have survived these traps in real life aside, it was just so much fun, and she laughed throughout, and I was.
Did she guffaw? Was she laughing so hard?
Laughed so hard. She laughed like one of the plants they put in like a sitcom audience to get people laughing. Like
yeah, that's good. That's good.
But Sarah, I have a movie night scheduled with her tonight, so maybe I'll suggest Spirited. See if that might be.
It is so
Right
fun.
on.
It's
Yeah.
so funny. But you have to like musicals. You have to be like okay with musicals. People break into song. Do
Well-
you? Are you?
Love the music. This is great.
Speaking of breaking out into song, Peter, I think the last time you and I spoke was in Winnipeg. You were shooting Burden of Truth
Yeah.
with Kristen there and having fun. And I asked you your all-time favorite TV theme song, and your choice was, do you remember?
I remember this because I feel like I got so excited about it. I almost hijacked our conversation.
It was fine.
Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
What?
Sarah, have you heard of this? Do you know what he's talking about?
It's not a thing. That can't be a thing.
It's a thing. It's an animated show from the 90s, Peter. When was it?
A Canadian show.
90s or late 80s, early 90s?
Late 80s, yeah.
But had to be, it's a Canadian show, right? Because we didn't get that.
Even if you saw it, you wouldn't get it.
Yeah. For a while, I was actually worried. I believe you like found some cover art or something.
Yeah, we did. No, it's a real show. I had to find proof. Yes, you were right.
I was worried because throughout my adult life, realized that no one on earth had
Ever heard of this show?
I was like, am I imagining that I watched this show as a kid? But it's incredible. It's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
It's about Cadillacs and dinosaurs.
Yes. Yeah. No.
So-
In an apocalyptic world where the only things that have survived are Cadillacs, and dinosaurs inexplicably have returned. No one knows why.
Okay.
And the world is ruled by sort of dueling gangs of Cadillac drivers.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are singular, Peter Mooney.
Just but my whole sense of like masculinity is based on the lead from that show.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it now. Can you favor us with a bar or two from the theme song? Do you remember how it goes?
Oh no, I can't remember it. I can't remember it now.
That's so disappointing.
I know, eh?
I know. I'm so sorry. I wish if I heard two notes of it, I'd be able to sing straight through. But I'm blanking on it.
Well, Sarah, what do you have an all-time favorite TV theme song?
Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. High adventure that's beyond compare. We are the gummy bears.
That's
You
amazing.
know about gummy bears?
You don't know the show Gummy Bears?
Was there some sort of like television wall that existed along the Canadian-U.S. border in the 90s?
So.
I've never heard that.
What about Fraggle Rock? You've heard of Fraggle Rock.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was shot in Toronto.
Gummy Bears is yeah. Oh, well, there you go.
Well, your characters on the Mistletoe Murders, they should have this very same discussion, I'm thinking, when the writers get together for
Obviously.
season 2 to cook up 6 new episodes. But delightful talking to you both. Thank you very much. Let's just make sure people know that the Mistletoe Murders, it's already on Hallmark, I believe. I think it's
Hallmark
premiered.
Plus, the new
Hallmark
streaming
Plus.
service. Yeah, Hallmark Plus.
Okay. And also in Canada on W Network coming on next November 18th. Also STACKTV. You can stream it anytime. There's 6 episodes. It's a lot of fun. It's a great mystery. And you can watch both of our guests in their Christmas romance or possible. And Sarah, there's like a lot of it's kind of physical too. You're falling through barn floors and everything. Okay.
Oh, just wait. Just you wait, Bill. You've only seen episode 1 and 2.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll keep our fingers
There's
crossed.
a lot more coming that way. Coming your way.
But it's a ton of fun, and I hope you get to make a lot more of them. Thank you very much for your time today, and congratulations on Mistletoe Murders.
Thank you so much. So nice to talk to you.
You too. Nice to meet you. Okay, Peter, take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Forces of nature have spun wildly out of control. Mighty Many cities have crumbled, and the dinosaurs have returned to reclaim the Earth.
I'd like to thank Sarah Drew and Peter Mooney for a fun interview. Really flew by. I'd offer an eggnog toast, but only Peter would partake, I think. Thanks as always to Phil Hong for putting a big fat Christmas bow on this episode. Give it up to BJ Del Conte, Paul Boudra, and all the crispy critters, as well as Piano Man Stephen Dudley for the music you hear on this podcast. Finally, thanks to you, listener. If you enjoyed this conversation, let us know with a like or a comment at Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Bill Brio. Thanks for listening.